Hello friends, it's time to get better at golf. Bill Hobson here along with Kyle Martin, the PGA professional from the Fortress Golf Course in Frankenmuth, Michigan. And we're in the middle of a series addressing questions that all of you sent in. Today, Kenny, Alan, and Parker and a few others all sent this question. How do I get rid of the dreaded slice? And Kyle, you know this, you teach all the time. If my target is up here, I really can't afford to have my ball landing over here, but that's happening to a lot of people.
That's a tough way to play golf.
So I think this is probably the thing for higher handicap players you probably address more than anything else. What's the secret to curing the dreaded slice?
Yeah, so part of it is, specifically if we're talking about driver, is your setup. Everything you do in your golf swing is determined by what you do standing still. And you and I have watched a lot of golfers over the years. Most people set up in a fashion where I could call it off the tee before they even swing, that their setup is built for a slice. So one of the big things is making sure with the driver that we have the proper tilts and alignments. And what that means is if I'm setting up to hit a driver, I generally want to hit the ball a little bit on the way up. So I need to tilt my upper body and my spine away from the direction I'm trying to hit it. Meaning I'm going to try and get my left shoulder, as a right-handed golfer, my left shoulder a lot higher than my right. The second part of that is making sure that my left shoulder is in front of my right.
Almost closed.
Correct.
Which feels weird if you've never done that.
Yeah, it's going to feel really difficult with a ball position that's up front with a driver, but we've got to trust me on this. We go through this every day. So if your shoulders are tilted up and to the right, it's generally going to provide room for the golf club to travel to the right. And this is the biggest misconception with most golfers, is most golfers, right-handed golfers, curve the ball to the right. So what do we do to try and fix it? We swing further to the left.
Yeah.
Well, when we talk about cause and effect with the golf ball, when the face is pointed at the target and we're swinging to the left, that just makes it worse. So we end up hitting it further right. That's where the frustration comes in. That's where somebody like me can provide a lot of value, because we need to be able to understand, in order to curve the ball, let's say to the left, not hit it straight. That's a really tough thing to do, but curve the ball to the left. We actually have to be swinging in the direction we're trying to curve it away from. And so setting up with your shoulders tilted up and to the right for a right-handed golfer provides that avenue for that golf club to start traveling that way and hit the ball not only on the way up, but on the way out. And that will help reduce how much that ball curves.
So for anybody who's watching this and they're looking down this line, they see your shoulders set up, and it looks like if you drew a laser out at the end of that shaft, that it's going quite a bit over here.
Correct.
Right? And I remember having a conversation with some of the high school golfers that I used to help coach who also played soccer. I said, when you kick a soccer ball that you want to curve, how do you kick the ball so that it will go to the left? He says, well, you got to kick it so that it spins to the left. You got to kick the right side of the ball. I said, well, that's the same physics that we all deal with in the world of golf.
Right.
If you're coming down to your, on your driver, if you're coming down to the ball and you're swiping across it from left to right, it's gone.
Yeah, it's destined to curve right, it's destined to slice, and that's not even taking into account where you're hitting it on the face. Most slicers tend to hit the ball on the heel, which will make that even worse.
Yeah.
So we're stacking the deck against, stack of cards against us for what we're trying to do. So tilts with your shoulders, and just like those soccer players trying to curve the ball to the left, as long as we can get your swing direction a little bit more to the right and on the way up, we stand a good chance of curving the ball actually to the left.
There is, I don't think, any other part of the game that more often is addressed by horrendous players on the range talking to their friends than how to fix your slice. So, you know, if you and I are just playing together and we're both struggling to break 100, but we're on the range, and I go, Kyle, if you want to get rid of that slice, you got to aim farther left. And then you stand over on the range and you watch this stance that is set up with the, like, down the third baseline.
Right.
And the guy's hitting it over the parking lot in the hopes that it will curve back into play. That is not the solution, my friends.
That is going to be a really hard day. Those are the guys and girls that you're like, okay, let's maybe play for a couple dollars.
Yes. I'll give you a couple shots.
Yeah.
And you just keep aiming further and further left. Okay, so you got the insight, the tips from the guy who in 2024 was the Michigan Teacher of the Year. You can do this. You can fix this, but it's going to require kind of some discomfort when it comes to how things feel. I think one of the hardest things to adjust to after a lesson is everything that guy just told me, putting it into practice, because it doesn't feel like the ingrained habits that I've had for so long.
Yeah.
For this one, take me to the range, and what can I do before I ever go onto the course to make sure that I'm putting into practice these principles you just talked about?
Yeah, simple thing is you can take another club out of your bag or put an alignment stick down.
Yep.
And you can take that alignment stick, set it right in between the ball and your feet. And this is just a visual. Are my shoulders feel like they're pointed to the right of that line? And are they pointed up? That's a very simple checkpoint. Some people are like, okay, can I touch the back of my knee? I think that's a bit excessive. I don't want you hitting the ground way back behind the golf ball.
Yeah.
I don't want you hitting the ground at all with the driver. So a simple setup of where are my shoulders pointed in relation to the alignment stick that's across my feet. Is it to the right and is it up? That's going to give me that opportunity to swing from the inside or under plane, and gives me the opportunity to curve the ball to the left.
Okay, we want you to get better at golf. Thank you to the guys who sent in this question, and I know that there are far more than those three who struggle with the dreaded slice. So now you have at least a starting point to get that problem cured. And there's also a PGA professional somewhere in your part of the world. If you're in mid-Michigan, it's this guy. If you're somewhere else, take a couple lessons. Don't take them from somebody who's worse at golf than you. That does not help.
It's cheaper than a new driver.
It is, and a lot of golf balls that end up in the water.
Yeah.
If you have any other questions for us, put them in the comments below. And on a future episode of Get Better at Golf, we will tackle those issues as well. See you next time.